Hi everyone, it's Danny Hay here for the SLA Europe YouTube channel, and I'm here with Jill Strand. Hi Jill, how are you?
I'm good, Denny. How are you doing?
Could you introduce yourself for those people who still don't know you?
Oh, yes.
There's
well,
only a
you
few
know,
left, I think. Yeah.
No, I'm sure there are many. I need to get out more. I'm Jill Strand. I'm a 10-plus year member of SLA. I have been lucky enough to be the conference chair for this year's annual conference in beautiful San Diego, California. So I want to thank everybody from other parts of the world as well as North America for coming to the conference. We really appreciate it. We're so glad you invested in your future and that of SLA.
Okay Jill, so first question. What keeps you awake at night about the information industry?
You know, I think the same thing that keeps a lot of our members awake at night. I think we all struggle to make sure our employers, our organizations, whatever they are, understand the value of what we do. I think we've been struggling that for years. When I first joined SLA as a graduate student and I started doing informational interviews, that was one of the things I kept hearing over and over was this theme of, I constantly have to prove my value. In fact, I was lucky enough to hear Dr. Jim Matarazzo, who's a professor emeritus at Simmons College in Boston, Massachusetts, and he's done a lot of studies on the value of corporate libraries, just one slice of our membership. And I heard him speak, and I thought, this is really interesting. I don't understand. This is such a great profession. We have so many roles. We cover so many different areas. And what's really interesting about SLA is that we represent so many different industries as well as roles. So we go from knowledge management to competitive intelligence to technology to usability to user experience, and then we cover government, nonprofit, academic, corporate. We're just so vibrant, and we cut across all over the place. So what I did was write an article for Information Outlook about, how could graduate schools and library programs and what kinds of things could we do to increase the value of information professionals. And it was partly because of that I became so passionate about kind of selling the value of SLA. And I was lucky enough to be asked to take part and volunteer for the PR Advisory Council. And I did that for several years, and it's just kind of spiraled. I keep doing that. I keep doing things to give back to SLA, partly because I've gained so much from it, but partly because there's so much more that we still need to do. One of the things I would actually hope to be able, if I was fortunate enough to earn your vote as president-elect of SLA for 2014, is to help the association continue to move forward in terms of the strategic vision. And for those who haven't had a chance to really kind of dig into that, what that is the SLA is really taking a hard look at self. And it's looking at everything from the annual conference to professional development to creating a richer volunteer experience for members to opening new markets through collaboration, such as the Financial Times study that we're doing in partnership with them, and also growing through diversity of professional activity. And I think that really what we need to do with that strategic agenda is take it further up and further in. I don't pretend to be a candidate who has all the answers or some really great, fun new phrase to bring in. I think there have been times when that's been helpful. But I think the association is asking the hard questions, and it's taking a look at what we need to do. And I think that we just need to really, again, go further up and farther in and look at that and see where it takes us.
Good. So I think that it's a nice bridge to the second question. So what are your dreams for the information professionals?
Oh, there are so many. It's so hard to start. But, one thing in particular, I feel like we have the tools to kind of learn more about what we need to do to remain viable and vibrant as an association and as information professionals, no matter what area or industry we work in or come from. And one of the things I would love to see the association do is to continue to have a dialogue among the membership about that. And some of that's already happening. For example, the Conference Re-envisioning Task Force is looking at and looking for members' feedback, so by all means talk to them about how can we make the conference more appealing for members as well as our sponsors, our vendor partners, who are also members. As some of you may have heard, our membership is down, our attendance at the conference is down, our sponsorship at the conference is down. So we really need to look at what is it the people want and what do we need to be delivering to them. And the Conference Re-envisioning Task Force is taking a good look at that, and they want your feedback, so definitely talk to them. We also at the conference this year have the feedback pack. So this is a group of early conference attendees who's going to be going through with their eyes wide open, their ears wide open. So if you happen to run into them, definitely talk to them. And we're going to meet with them immediately after the conference and get their insights fresh from the experience of how, what do they think about the conference? What do they think could be different? What would they like to see? Some of the other things. So I'd like to see that dialogue continue, but I wanted to see it continue with all members. I sometimes think that, there was a lot of good research that went into the alignment. And, it was a lot to get our arms around. And we really, I think, the name change, while it was certainly worthy to take a look at, I think people felt a little, they didn't have a chance to understand alignment, what we could learn from that. I would like to see that dialogue continue. And we now have the Loyalty Project and all the great research that James Kane has done. And there's a lot to be learned. I've been talking to a lot of members, a lot of unit, division, and chapter and caucus leaders, and asking them their thoughts about the association. And one theme I keep hearing is, we're great. Librarians are fabulous. We're really happy to be librarians. We love it. But we need to look beyond ourselves. As one member, actually it was an SLA Europe member, Geraldine Clement Stoneham, said to me, we need to we're in danger of becoming this big echo chamber of just a bunch of librarians getting together and saying, yay, we're great, we're wonderful. And we are, and we should say that. But I think we also need to be listening to what's going on outside of ourselves, outside of our profession, with the people we work with, for example. So that could happen in terms of having different speakers at the conference, different speakers in our webinars, but also reaching out to different members. And I guess that leads to kind of a third wish I would have, was to really make the association about offering opportunities for all levels of membership. And when I say levels, I'm talking about different roles, thinking outside the box, outside the continent, outside the universe, about what kinds of people do we want to recruit as members? Who do we want to learn from? Who should we be listening to? And also, too, I mentioned before that we really cut across. Very few associations do this when you think about it. We represent biomedical, legal, academic, nonprofit, government, science, so many disciplines, museum. I just keep saying them because there are so many, and that's what makes us so rich and viable as an association. But we don't promote that very much, and I think, being able to promote to potential members, but also potential employers, like, look, we're going to be in town, we're having a conference, maybe you should come by and recruit for your next knowledge manager, your CI person, your user experience expert, your technical services expert, your research expert, your business development expert. I'm going on and on and on, but that's because I can, because we have so much to offer. And I think it's a matter of kind of making sure that we're looking outside of ourselves. And actually today our keynote speaker, Mike Walsh, who I'm so excited that people really seem to be jazzed about him, and I hope you were following on the Twitter feed, one of the things he said is, don't let the future sneak up on you. You need to be thinking ahead about that. And I think that that's something that we are fully capable of doing. And I really would like to see us acting on it and doing it together, but doing it also as a dialogue and looking beyond ourselves. Because there's a big world out there and we have a part in it, but we want to make sure people recognize what we have to offer, because it's quite a lot.
Okay, thank you, Jill. I think
Thank
those
you.
were very inspirational words to end this interview with. Thank you very much, and I'll talk to you next time.
Thank you, Denny. Have a great conference.
Yep.
Thank you, ESLA Europe.